Boom. You going live from Instagram right now?
I'm going live from Instagram.
That's dope. If you wanted to just get you, that's cool, man. All right. Well, Malc's going to have a live. Will you save it so that people can watch it later, or is that the way that works or no?
I can. I don't know if I probably have space.
Okay. I wonder if I have. I used to have a phone stand. That's pretty good. Cool.
Yep.
All right. I'm interested to see how many people are watching live, too.
Okay, we live
We out here.
for sure.
The Malc Show
Yes.
in the motherfucking building.
the Malc Show is here, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you doing
Yes,
this
sir.
with me,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Fucking Malc won first place at the Comedy Showdown last week.
Yes, man. Appreciate y'all, man. It was my first time here. I love the atmosphere. I love the vibe for sure, man. So
Thank you.
it was beautiful.
Dude, your energy is through the fucking roof. Through the roof, which is so valuable. You know, everybody has their own pocket, you know, and it's
Yeah.
like some people, like a more subdued vibe works, but
Right.
then other people would really benefit from that kind of energy.
Right.
You know, and I hope that, and I'm sure like the other comedians that were here, there might have been some who were like, oh man, I should probably turn it up a couple notches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, even you were fucking hilarious.
Appreciate it, man.
But with that kind of energy, it just demands attention and
Right.
response. You know? Yeah, fucking stellar job, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely push that. That's what the Malc Show is all about. It's just giving people a show. You know, I'm an artist, I'm a DJ, I'm a comedian, I'm a film producer and different things. So I can do whatever on stage. I just want people to not know what's gonna happen.
What to
You know
expect.
what I'm saying? What to expect. I want people to be shocked every time. I may break out and play some drums. You never know. I started as a drummer. People don't know I play instruments, you know, and different things like that. But I try to incorporate music and more into comedy, and to show people you came to see a show.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just telling jokes. So that's why I love the energy. And honestly, the energy comes from being nervous. The energy. So I channel that energy from being nervous to being extra loud.
Yeah.
And being very energetic, so it throws everybody off. They would never know I'm nervous, you know. And then it dies down once I start to say what I need to say and get in the groove of things on stage. But yeah, it comes from the gut. Like whether you're waiting for something, like I can't wait to get on stage, or I'm very nervous, I don't know what's gonna happen. But once I hit the stage and get that mic in my hand, everything shifts. So yeah.
It's that's a really interesting perspective. Like some people you would think when they're nervous, they're gonna be more meek and
Yeah.
shy and like choke over their words, and you flip it on its head.
Yeah.
You take that nervous energy and turn it into explosive energy, right?
sure.
And then it's like you break the ice. It's literally you break the ice.
Yes.
You know? Well, I fucking commend you for that, man. That's fucking smart,
Appreciate
dude.
it. Appreciate it.
It's
man.
smart, man. And it seemed like a lot of your content, like, because I like to talk about writing style and whatnot, a lot
Uh-huh.
of your content was like specific to here. You know, it
Yeah,
seemed like it was like it almost felt like you totally just like freestyled, and maybe it's
Right,
not.
right.
It was like a very good freestyle. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But do you, when you write comedy,
Mm-hmm.
do you sit down and like write out jokes, or what's your kind of creative style?
So I do write. And I try to, because I'm a journalist, so I try to put that and continue writing, whether it's music, jokes. So I'll take whatever happens in my life. I'll take something, or what happened, or something I've seen, or something that my main focus is when I get in a room at a comedy show or wherever I'm doing comedy, is to see who's in the room. How can I relate to the people in the room? Because if I can relate to them, I will definitely get laughs. I will definitely have people love my set, because I can connect with them. And that's come from, as far as hosting and DJing, you have to know how to read the crowd.
Yep.
And that's the first thing I learned in radio, is reading the crowd and different things like that. So I do the same thing in comedy. I read the crowd, who's here, whether it's a lot of white people, black people, Hispanic people, what races are here, are there couples, do you think they're married, where are we going with the comedy? So most of the time I'll have a script with some jokes and things like that, or key topics. But once I get in the room, then I'll know, okay, well, let me say this joke that I did in Orlando, or this joke that I did at the Improv here, and then I'll incorporate it. Or like I did at the show here, I went out, I thought of some things like while I was here. You know what I'm saying?
Before your set, like before you went up there.
Before my set, like I made a mistake and came here because I was going to Mellow Munchies, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I was like, dang, this is the same address as the Kava place.
No
and
shit.
I turned around, I was like, oh shoot, this is it. So it's here. So I'm like, okay. So I stepped in and I looked in the place and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see how it looks. So when I come in, I can talk about it.
No shit.
You know, I can talk about it, maybe tell a joke or something. The joke I told was like, thank you for allowing us to tell in your treehouse. You know what I'm saying? So I thought of something really quick, like, dang, what does this place look like that people would laugh at? And that all right, looks like treehouse. Oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like different stuff like that.
I've told that joke that you said, or that you said it, like 4 or 5 times since you left. I'm like, bro, one of the funniest things he said was like, thanks for letting me tell jokes in your treehouse. It's because we can relate. Because honestly, that was kind of like, we talk about that all the time. This is like a clubhouse,
right?
Like a treehouse type feel to it. Fucking hilarious. So you know of Mellow Munchies before you know of the Comedy Showdown here?
Well, I mean, they've moved, locations. So I was just visiting, the food truck.
Oh, dope.
But I didn't know they moved right. Well, I didn't know I was performing here until I got the opportunity for Corey. Shout out to Corey.
Corey Cognac. Yeah.
Shout out to him. And well, when I went there to get something to eat, I realized this.
You're like, oh shit, this is where the Comedy Showdown is.
This is where I got to perform.
Yeah.
So I know where it is now, because I was like, it was confusing. That's what made me do the joke, as far as people, can't find, because it's black people in different directions. You have to tell us in a way, but people can relate to that because some people got lost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to get here. So just trying to relate. That's my main thing, trying to relate to people. And I love connecting with people. If I can connect with everybody in the crowd, then you had a great show.
Yeah. Well, it shined through, man. It was brilliantly done. How long you been doing comedy?
For about a year. I started January. I don't want to get the date wrong. Shout out to the Lockhart District. Shout out to Alexis in the Lockhart District. She gave me my opportunity. I just knew I was going to do. Now, I want to do comedy for a long time, right? But I was nervous to get on stage. And I also didn't want to go as Malcolm Summons, which is my name, right? Yep. I didn't want to come out as my name. I wanted to create this character because you have the business side of me, in the community side, the politics side, and everything like that. As a teacher, different things, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But not anymore. But still. And then you have the Malc Show, right?
It's a separate entity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have. So I wanted to create something. So when I get on stage, it's like, all right, that's not his name. That's them. Like, because the Malc Show can be, it's gonna grow to be a bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? So when they come see the Malc Show, I want them to have an entire show. You have live music, you have a band, you have a whole bunch of stuff. Then you have comedy as well, and it's a beautiful thing. So I forgot your question, but what got me into comedy is pretty much because it was God told me to get on. It's time to get on stage, right? It was going into 2020. Alexis from Lockhart District, we were talking and she was having a show. She was like, okay, well, why won't you do your special? Like 30 minutes, an hour special. I was like, oh, whoa. I never been on stage, did comedy.
That's a little soon.
But I told myself, and I had a friend of mine who told me, he told me, shout out to Tay Tough. He told me that I should have my own show, like before I started to do comedy and stuff like that. And I was like, I do want to do my own show, like as my first time doing comedy. And then
like a TV show type show?
No, like my own show, host.
Oh,
get
okay.
a venue,
Produce a show.
Yeah, and do my
show.
own 30 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she proposed that she was having a show, and then she was like, "Why would you do your thing here?" I was like, "Well, first I was like, nah, I don't know if I could do 30 minutes. I don't know." But then I ended up doing it, and that was my first time. And I ended up doing 50 minutes. I didn't even know because I didn't have nobody to show me no lights. I didn't know what time. But I did that. I wanted to start hard because I knew that going into comedy, you have 5-minute, 3-minute sets and things like that.
Yeah.
If I could do 50 minutes, I definitely could do 5.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got into it, because it's very nerve-wracking, and I was running from it for so long. So now I wanted to face that fear. 2020 was all about making the funds. Now, making funds. 2021 was more about facing fears, getting into comedy. This year is more about now brand yourself. Now we're doing interviews. Now we're traveling now. We're on a comedy tour. So everything is always aligned. You know, I pray and I make sure that everything's aligned, and everything's always aligned. When God tell me what's this year is about, that's what it's about, and that's what I see. We're marketing right now while we're doing this interview.
One of the things I've learned while doing this podcast is people have so much more than what you see at the surface level. Like, I'll run into somebody, we have an interesting conversation. I'm like, you should do the podcast. And then during that podcast, you learn all of the different things that people have gone through in their lives. And in this last just 5 minutes, you know, I learned so much about what your history is.
Right.
What I usually like to start these podcasts with, and sometimes I get ahead of myself, is just a very simple, who are you and what do you do? We know your name's Malcolm. Your last name?
Summons.
Malcolm Summons.
The second.
You go by the junior. My brother-in-law is a junior too.
The second, though. Is
that different?
It is. For some reason, I don't know, but it's different.
Okay. Are you named after your father?
I am.
Okay.
It's supposed to be junior, but it's the second. That's just what it is.
Well, it's like a preface to there's going to be a third.
Right.
Right. You have any kids?
No, I don't.
Not yet.
No, but my camera. Shout out to that GH5.
What's that?
My camera.
So you were a teacher?
Yeah, man. I was teaching middle school, so I have my own business. Sure Handed Productions is my own production company, and I wrote a curriculum for my business and what I'll be teaching and different things. So I went to this school. I don't want to, name the school.
Okay.
So I went to the school. It was a charter school. So I went there and to apply as a sub, and I presented my resume. She saw the things I've done. Graduated from FAMU. Was in radio, and worked in radio and had my own production company. Just knew a lot about film and journalism. So she was like, "Do you want to start a program here?" I was like, "Sure." I probably start a journalism media program.
Shit.
And we were striving to film, like, for their morning announcements and just film different things. And I was teaching them how to film, how to edit. I had them make cameras and like camera equipment out of cardboard. It's really dope. It was really dope. And different things like that, man. So yeah, I only taught a year.
Okay. When was this?
Shoot. Probably and not too long ago. It was about a year ago.
Last year?
Last year, maybe a year and a half.
Dope.
Corona messed us up, bro. It's like these years just flying through. I forgot what year it was.
It's been like a time warp, man. I don't know. It's like, 2020 hit, and then it's like time slowed down for a month or two.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it was like the fucking 2020 was over.
It was over.
And then 2021, I feel like I don't even know what happened.
What happened is gone. Now it's 2022, and it's like, dang.
I got a theory that something is making time go faster than normal. And we would never know it because our cell phones all tell us the time.
Yeah.
And you ever had like an analog watch, and it's like, man, the time keeps going like back, like the watch is slow. Something wrong with my watch. What if there's nothing wrong with the watch?
Right.
But our phones are just counting time faster. That's a fucking weird fucking smoke some weed theory that I got.
But time is made. I mean, is made up. So I mean, we never really know time. That's what we can go by is our phones and the clocks and different things like that.
It's weird. It's like we're controlled by time. Like, this is how you know that you got to work an 8-hour fucking shift at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like time is not. It's like you said. It's not real. You know.
Yeah.
But when we're all following by this fucking time, like who fucking knows?
Right.
You know. So music was music the beginning of your creativity as a young man?
Yes. I started young. You grew up in church. 80-90% black. You grew up in the church.
Okay.
I was in a choir. I was in all the plays. I was on the drums. Mainly the drums. But I was young, so there were other drummers, you know what I'm saying? So I, like, growing up in the church, I was playing like if no other drummer was there. You know, so I'll play if ain't no drummer come. So I used to hope for those times. I hope that like the lead drummer is not here. Cause I was like fifth string. It was like the head drummer, then the other drummers, then my cousins were drummers. It was like, dang, but I'm after them. If he has to lead a song and sing, then I play the drums.
Right.
All right, cool. I can play the drums here. And then it progressed, and then I'd start playing, you know, as the drummer and getting paid and different things. But yes, it started there. And then in middle school, I was in a band. I started playing saxophone. So I played saxophone. I didn't know how to play saxophone at all. I know my cousin, Vincent, knew how to play saxophone. So he taught me the basics. And then shout out to our band director, Mr. Nance at John F. Kennedy Middle School.
Shout out, Mr. Nance.
It taught us, man, in class and different things. And I ended up being the best saxophone player there. Or around, you know what I'm saying? Because you see other schools, it's like, okay, well, I can play too. You know what I'm saying? So I became really, really good at sax. And I can still play, you know what I'm saying? Not as like I did before, but I never read music anyway. So
right.
I always played by ear, no matter what instrument I played. I was like Nick Cannon. I never read music. I didn't know how to read music as fast as other people, but I just played by ear and learned the notes and figured out the song by just listening to it.
No shit.
Yeah, man.
It seems like some of the best musicians that we know throughout history, I mean, obviously there's like classical and whatnot, but it's all by ear.
Right.
You know, these are the people who are like creating, new music. If you're reading music, then you're regurgitating. But if you are playing by ear, it just makes you that much more able to create.
Right.
You know? I'm the same way. Like, I don't know how to read music at all, but I can tell you what sounds good. I made rap music for 15 years. If I'm skimming through beats, I can pick the hottest one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely can agree with that, man.
For sure, man.
And then journalism. Is that something that you got into in high school, in college?
Honestly, I can say now, understanding what journalism is, I've probably been in journalism my entire life. Because journalism goes further than writing. You know, I thought that's what it was, but you realize I'm a multimedia journalist because I write, I sing, I make music, I make the videos, I edit them, and I broadcast. I would do the report, I would write the script. So I do everything in media. So as a journalist, I started doing interviews with artists. That's how I started, but I started at FAMU.
Okay.
As like the Malc Show started on Snapchat. Let's start here. The Malc Show started on Snapchat. I started the show. I was just doing like stories, like what happened today or current stories, but I was making them funny. So that really started the comedy.
The comedy, yeah. You knew you had a funny bone.
Yeah, but I've always had a funny bone. I was always the class clown, funniest. at schools everywhere in the neighborhood, in the city. So I'm trying to see where I was.
No, we were talking about journalism and the Snapchat Malc Show.
Yeah. So I started on Snapchat, and then I realized, but I did that just to see what type of feedback I would get, to see if I can really do this Malc Show thing.
Right.
I was getting good feedback. I was like, all right, cool. So now we're going to get a camera, and we're going to figure it out and get a camera and film and do interviews and be live on camera like the reporter, but not like news. We're just going to be entertainment.
Yeah.
So I bought a camera, and then I was at FAMU.
Where's FAMU? Excuse my ignorance.
Tallahassee, Florida,
Okay.
down the street on the other side of the tracks of Florida State.
Okay.
Got to understand what the tracks means, redlining. We have to understand that. Black school, predominantly white school. The students at FAMU could not go to Florida State, so they built their own school on the highest of 7 hills. They had to go and build their own school, and that's how FAMU started.
No shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of history, but shout out to FAMU.
Yeah.
I love my HBCU and every other HBCU, but they gave me the opportunity to get on radio. I went there first time. I missed the first meeting they were having, the interest meeting, and then I waited for like the next semester or something. But I finally got on. And here's the thing, what I did, you have to do a mic break and send in the tape. So you have to record as if you were doing a show.
Yeah.
So you'll play some songs and do a mic break. So I did my mic break, as if I was doing something. Yo, y'all know what it is right here. The Malc Show is live right here, 90.5 The Flavor Station, baby. It's the Malc Show. We going live right now, man. Stay tuned, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my mic break. I recorded. I put my songs on. But they told me that I had to learn how to DJ to get on the radio. So the whole break before, it was Christmas break, I was teaching myself how to DJ.
No shit. On turntables, on CDJs?
Well, not turntables yet. I was just on virtual DJ, just on a laptop.
Okay, yep.
And then later I got the controller.
Yep.
But while I was still on radio. So I passed my test, and then they gave me the most crucial spot. But I loved it. It was good for me. But they was like, we really get this to our veterans, because I had prime time from 4 to 7. Soon as people get off, that's prime time. It's either in the morning, the afternoon during 3 to 7.
Yeah, or what they call drive time in
drive
radio.
Time. Yeah,
4 to 7.
I was in drive time.
Yeah, that's huge.
So they was like, we usually give this to experienced people, but we feel as though the way you sound, you look, you feel like you got it.
Yeah,
and I did. So they gave me drive time. And that was one show on Tuesdays. That's when I started, and then I got a Thursday show, and then I was getting better. I got turntables. Then I started bringing artists. Shout out to Mike Smith. Shout out to Double A, who I've been on tour with now. But we got to talk about that too.
Yeah.
And I met him in college, but now we still rocking. But different things, I learned all of those relationships through radio. Did my thing, then I graduated. Then I went to work at X1023 here in West Palm. So I worked there for a little bit, and then writing stories for people, for their shows and different things like that. Never was on air or anything.
Oh, as a writer. You went to work for them as a writer.
Yeah, I was doing the social media stuff, writing the stories, putting the stories on all the social medias.
Yeah.
Helping them come up with ideas for their different topics.
Did that feel like you weren't able to show your true potential?
Well, of course,
right?
Of course, and they knew what we had. It was more than just me there. I was there with J Bell, the artist, as well. Phenomenal talent. He's the host right now for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh shit!
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had talent. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, we wasn't given the opportunity. We even went to the BET Awards together, while still on the radio. But it had nothing to do with the radio. It's just, this is what we're doing on our time, just with our own brands. But I ended up it ended up being bought out by Hubbard. Hubbard don't really own a lot of urban stations.
Did they change the format from like a urban station to like a fucking country station or something?
Well, at first we had a hip hop station.
Yeah.
And then it's not a hip hop station. It's like a party station.
Okay.
It's called Party now. You know what I'm saying? Before it was Beats.
Yeah.
Now it's Party. Before it was hip hop, Breakfast Club in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, because we were running the Breakfast Club and different things.
Yeah.
Those shifts. If you ever work in radio and you have to run like the Steve Harvey show, Breakfast Club early in the morning, man, dog, I was late like a couple times.
And you got to cue that up. You got to pipe that
You
through.
have to. You have to. Or it's going to be, you don't want it to be silent. It's
Dead
probably nothing
air.
going to be playing, some dead air. Or it might play some commercials that's not supposed to be played yet. Or you just need to be there.
Yeah.
You just have to be there because nobody else is
What
there.
time you have to be there?
You got to be there. Like Breakfast Club start at 5.
Okay. So you got to be there 4:30.
You got to be there, man. But
how many nights did you go there when you hadn't gone to sleep yet?
see, the thing is, you work at nights. You'll get off at night at 12.
Yeah.
And then you have to go back in at 5. So it's like, shoot, quick naps is like, I'm going to take a quick nap.
Yep.
But then if you doze off or hit the snooze or turn it off. So sometimes you think like, sometimes I'll think like I'm just hitting a snooze or something, but you're turning it off and it's like there's no more alarms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you oversleep, then people call you because there's somebody else over there running the Steve Harvey.
Oh.
They're like, oh, shoot, where you at? Because you'll get a red light. It'll blink like when you're off air.
Right.
Because that's what the people do late night if they're working in the station. Somebody's there making sure all the stations is on because it's like 5-6 other stations that you're making sure, you know, they're on, they're playing, all the drops is coming in, all the commercials are coming in, everything's on time, the top of the hour plays, half of the hour goes in, different stuff like that, man. But it's not complicated, you know, it's radio, you feel me? I love it. But that's where we started, and shout out to FAMU. And then now I took that same formula from FAMU working with Sirius XM. Sirius XM helped me as far as interviewing higher people. They made me understand that you can make these phone calls and ask for an interview.
That's right. That's right. A lot of people say it's like, you know, you got to know somebody. It's who you know.
Right.
But what people don't realize that who you know is usually just a phone call away.
Right.
You know?
You are who you know.
Yeah.
You can make it happen.
That's right. I put together this thing called the Indie Music Expo in 2007. I wanted to create a larger platform for me as an artist while helping other artists. So in Charlotte, North Carolina, me and my one of my best friends and business partner, KB, shout out KB, we put together this thing called the Indie Music Expo. And we knew it was going to take money to run, right? So we started looking for sponsors. Right, so we're thinking, all right, music. Who's the best sponsor you could get for something like this? We're like, oh, Sam Ash, right? Sam Ash Music Stores.
Okay.
I go into the local Sam Ash, and they're like, you know, that's a corporate deal. Like, so I get the number to corporate Sam Ash, and I get the number to the secretary of the CEO.
Right.
And I call her, and I'm like, hey, this is Blake Rothmel. I'm looking to speak with Mr. Paul Ash. I believe he's expecting my call, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, please hold.
Right.
Hey, this is Paul Ash. How can I help you? This is Paul Ash of Sam Ash Music, the CEO. Answered my phone call. I'm 19 years old, you know, and I get him on the phone. And then I'm able to develop a relationship with him over the phone. He cuts us a $5,000 check. He doesn't know me from nothing.
Right.
Sends me this check for us to throw this show. And that at that point, that's when I learned, oh, shit. People are just a phone call away. If you present yourself in the right way, and you have the willingness to dial the numbers and you know, find your way in, you can make anything happen. You know what I mean? I actually totally understand everything you're saying. I went to broadcasting school, Carolina School of Broadcasting in 2010, and I had been making music for several years, and a friend of mine who I was working with, said he was going to this broadcasting school, which I had never even thought of. And it made me realize, like, oh man, this is a great opportunity for me to work in the industry that I'm trying to get into, but not as a rapper, you know?
Okay.
So graduated Carolina School of Broadcasting, got a radio show on 102.7. Just a local station in Charlotte. Somebody had bought a small little station and turned it into a hip hop station, and I was able to get 2 hours on Tuesday night. I called it the Truth of the QC Tuesdays once a week. And man, it's nothing more exhilarating than live radio, man. You know, you bring your homies in, you got a DJ, you got a co-host, and you interview your friends. But it was such a small station. I was responsible for also selling advertising. That was how I was going to cover, like, them letting me do it. You also have to sell advertising.
Right.
Well, they didn't have, like, what's the Nielsen? I think it's Nielsen, the scans of, like, who's listening, the demographics. So I could show potential advertisers. And they're like, well, just, you know, we don't have that, so make it up. So I really wasn't able to leverage listening power to sell advertising. I was also young and probably not that motivated. I just wanted to be on the radio. So the show kind of, like, I wasn't able to continue on because I wasn't selling enough advertising. You know? One of the things that I think is wild about what's happened in FM radio is the consolidation of all of the stations and all of the jobs in the radio station. Like what you're saying, there's 5-6 stations in one building, and there's one guy in there making sure everything's running properly. You know, it's crazy. I have a friend, Otis, shout out Otis from the O Show, Kiss 95.1. He was on-air talent for years in Charlotte. And then he got a job as a program director at a country station in Atlanta. And he's the program director. He's the on-air talent. He's writing, copywriting. Literally, you have to be able to do 6 people's jobs at the radio station. You know? But I think that FM is, you know, everybody's like, FM is dead. FM is dead. Like, it's satellite. It's streaming. I think there's going to come a time where local entrepreneurs start buying up small stations again and creating programming that is relevant to the area that they're in. And I think it's so important. Like, if anybody's listening and knows anybody, like, we need to start, because FM is, like, to me, I think it's an incredible way to reach people. You know? And if people know, people have steered away from FM because it's not local anymore. You know what I mean? Nothing on the radio station is talking about anything from our neighborhood or anything local. So they're going to go to, people can choose their content now. So they go to satellite or whatever. But if they knew that the station here is going to play, like, cool shit from their neighborhood or talk about topics that are relevant to them, I think people would come back to FM. You know, it's actually you know, if I had a list of 5 things that I want to do in the future, it'd probably be number 5 to, you know, start an FM radio station and focus on local content. You know, I think it's really important, dude.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's what a lot of, because you don't see a lot of local artists getting their music played.
Zero.
At their radio station. So that's a problem. And a lot of radio stations are not in the community enough. You know, so that's a problem because you're the voice of the community and you don't know the community.
Yes, they do these community events where they're out at, like, they're giving away free hot dogs at the car dealership, but, like, that's not it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be put together, like, community events, and it's because of the consolidation. They don't have enough people or budget to do it properly. You know, but I think a creative person with a little bit of financial backing, could really make something happen for local.
Yeah, you know, radio is built off of advertisement.
That's right.
So if you build your audience and your audience loves you, they will want to pay to advertise on the radio because they know people. A lot of people have businesses to advertise. But they're not going to pay the radio station because nobody's listening right now.
That's right.
So if they're listening and we're targeting the people in the community or wherever they're at, because if we're listening here, we're listening from Miami. We don't have no station really.
Well, we have, and if you guys are listening or whatever, or maybe this is something that needs to. What's the new old school hip hop station? 107.1. You listen to 107.1?
107.1 old school, yes.
I think that's local.
No,
I think
no.
that's West Palm.
I think 107.1, I think Fort Pierce, right?
Is it? I don't know. I was thinking it was West Palm.
That's I don't want to get people's name wrong. I think 107.1 is out there somewhere.
I've debated. I've thought about it. Listening to 107.1 in the car, like several times. They advertised for, sales positions and whatnot. Right. And I'm like, man, this was before I started this podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude, what if I just show up over there and sell myself as an on-air talent? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that if the right group of people could even go into a station that's small and local, like a 107.1, and start creating some buzz. And people are gravitating towards podcasts because they like the long form conversation. So if you could find a marriage of long form conversation with local community members, with awesome music and interesting programming, I think people would come back to FM.
Yeah, and we have True Radio here. With DJ Daddy Fats, there's an app that you can listen in for them. I know that's local. That's I know we have True Radio here. I'm trying to think. Yeah,
that might be it, man.
I can't think of any now. I don't want to cross nobody out, but
yeah, no doubt.
Can't think of any.
So with journalism. So we're in a very crazy time in this world. Right? Fucking the people who are controlling the media are pushing us to be against each other, be scared of your neighbor.
Right.
It's like sometimes it feels like they're enticing a fucking race war.
Right.
And journalism seems to be fucking dead. It doesn't seem like any of the people who are on the news are doing real journalism. They're all reading off of teleprompters.
Right.
All of that information is being disseminated down to them.
So let's break down the news and journalism. So that's the reason why I didn't go news, and because the news or newspaper, you have to talk to your editor-in-chief, right?
Yep.
Well, after you write your story, and then they have to approve the story, and then but you have to pitch the story before you report it. It has to be approved. Once it's approved, then you report and do your package in the field. I don't have to worry about that. I can report whatever I want, when I want, do whatever I want, go wherever I want. My target is people who don't have voices. I started the Malc Show to build up in Sure-Handed Productions to build a platform for people who feel as though
they're disenfranchised
and they can't speak because the news is not gonna go to certain people, just because they're homeless or something like that. I will stay with someone and actually stay the night outside with them to film and get a documentary together just so that they can get their story across. I'm deep when it comes to this because I want to be able to get this story across for them, right? So that's why I started. So I started doing the sit-down interviews. I don't show me because it's not about me.
Yep.
I show only the person and let them talk. And I don't just talk to them about, if I'm talking to an artist, we're not only talking music.
Yeah.
They had a whole life before that.
Yep.
So we're talking about their upbringing, their family, what got them into, you know what I'm saying? And different people, and they've, I've ran into so many people and they tell me like, dang, I love doing interviews with you because you don't talk about what I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that, but people always talk about it. It's like, well, I'm not here to get a story. A lot of journalists are here to get a story. So they have to build the narrative. They have to make the narrative and make it seem huge and different things like that. All they do is change the not title. It's the headline.
Oh, headline.
Is it the headline?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
if that's what you're thinking about.
So I'm thinking about the name and the date, and it's something else. But the title, the headline of the story.
Yeah. But it's basically the same narrative.
Right. And then you have the under it. So you have the title, and then you have something under it before the story, before your first not paragraph. In a news story, I'm trying to give the proper terminology in the newspaper. I can't even think right now.
Let's see. I can watch this. This, we got these fucking all-knowing devices here. How is a newspaper story laid out? A newspaper is often laid out in columns. Each column should be the same proportions. This is like the way it looks.
Right now,
headline, first sentence, sum up what the story is about. Write your report in third person in past tense. Split your newspaper up into paragraphs to help the reader clearly understand.
What is the first paragraph name?
What are the 5 parts of a? Oh, here we go. This is what you're looking for, bro. Byline.
Byline is the name and
the line who tells who's writing the article.
And all that. Yeah.
Location. This is usually the place at the beginning of the article. Bold point. Lead paragraph and supporting paragraphs.
Yeah, your lead. Your lead only tells details of the story, but it doesn't give details. It just tells you, like, I will say your name, right?
Yep.
Or no, I won't even say your name. I'll say
business owner.
Local kava bar interviews entertainer.
Right.
That's the lead.
Right.
Then it would give the name Hakuna Makava, then the names, right? But it still don't give because what we're talking about will be in the story.
Yep. How often is bro. It's all good, man. This is loose, man. We're fucking loose up here. It's we ain't got to be perfect. Hey, Kratom,
tea. What is this called?
This is called Kratom Tea. You have green Kratom Tea.
I've never had green Kratom Tea, but we're drinking green Kratom. What did I have at the comedy show?
Kava, which is a root from the Fijian Islands that is mixed with water, squeezed, and then it kind of creates like kind of an alternative to alcohol.
Okay.
Where kratom is a leaf from Southeast Asia that we brew into a tea, strain it, and then add flavoring. And it hits your dopamine, serotonin. It gives you like all these
feel my dopamine.
Good. You feel it, right?
I feel my dope. Where is it?
That's your dopamine. that might be the kidney.
Okay.
Kidneys are in the back. I think dopamine is I don't know, really. I'm not really good at anatomy.
I'm not at all.
So why isn't it crazy how when we're talking about headlines and bylines and all that, like everybody is pushing for clickbait in this day and age. So the headline will say Kava bar owner, fucking offends or something like that. And then you read the article and it doesn't support the headline at all.
It doesn't, but it grabs your attention.
And most people don't even go and read the whole article. They read the headline, then they share it, right? And then they're telling their friends, did you hear that,
Exactly.
And it's like, but that's not what the article said at all, And that's the problem with journalism nowadays is people want to get clicks and they need to get eyeballs. So they use like this sensationalism and all of this shit to get you to just share it or click it. But often nothing in the article supports what's being said in the headline.
Right.
It's a fucking shame.
That's just like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
You'll see the picture of the video, but it has nothing to do, or is talking about some celebrity. You would not believe what this celebrity has done to, but it's talking about nothing.
Right.
But it has 1 million views.
Yeah.
Because Soulja Boy spoke about that being early in YouTube.
Yeah, Soulja Boy was the first person to do everything.
Exactly. He wrote his title was something totally out of whatever he was doing, but they was watching his video.
Yep. I used to put music videos on YouTube, and I always debated, should I name it a popular song right now? Like, should I name it a Drake song? Like, the name of the YouTube video is Drake whatever song, And then when they click it, it's me. Yeah. And I never did it. I've seen other people do it, and they have tons of views, but I never did it because I felt like somebody's just going to then be fucking pissed off at me that, like, I tricked them. So I never did it. But it works for some people.
It works for sure.
The old bait and switch. I think they call it, like, Rick-marolled or something like that.
Say it again?
Rick-rolled. There's this song that comes on. Oh, look. See, I wish I got to host and be the producer, which is cool. So look. Rick rolled. Okay, Rick rolling is when you troll someone on the internet by linking to the music video for Rick Astley's hit song, Never Gonna Give You Up. I'm never gonna give you up. Something like that. And you think you're clicking one video, but you get this other dude's music video. And it was happening like wildfire.
Okay.
And they call it getting Rick rolled. And
Getting Rick rolled. I learned something tonight. Rick rolled.
it's fucking clickbait, man.
I Rick rolled you.
So what's on the horizon for the Malc Show? Like, are you putting together like an online web series? Is it going to be a live show? Are we doing all of the above?
A little bit of all of the above. I'm in the process of organizing my life.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, this is where I am. I'm very talented, right? I'm very humble. I understand how much talent. Thank God for many talents that I have. But I don't understand what to do. I get a lot of, you need to focus on one thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love this. What if I want to start my own show because this is where I come from?
Yeah.
I just dropped it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you have the camera. I'm a film producer. You have then photographer or whatever. You have the music. You have the comedy. You have the community activists. Because we do have a nonprofit, Periana Precious Hands. Have to make sure we since we're talking about it. Periana Precious Hands is our nonprofit. Me and my moms. We feed each and every Wednesday. We have boxes of food, you know, fresh produce, fresh vegetables, meat, flowers, different things, you know, we give out to the community every week.
Do you go out and hand that out, or do people come to a location for that?
They come to the location.
It's at a church?
Yeah, it's at a church. They come to the location, or we may not be at a church. We sometimes we may be in the neighborhood, just depending on what we have and what we're doing.
If you ever want to use Hakuna for that, we're wide open.
Oh, for sure.
We had John Wicks in here, you know, Kodak's older brother, John Wicks.
Yeah.
He did a turkey drive, turkey giveaway from here, toy drive, toy giveaway.
Okay.
We had toys stacked like almost to the Hakuna Macabre sign.
Yeah, for sure.
Bags of toys that they all had donated, and then tons of families coming in. At one point, this young man, he must have been 5 or 6, he got his bag and he's walking out with his mom. He said, "Mom, I thought you said Santa wasn't coming this year." Like, oh my God. We're like, here, dude, take some more, you know?
Right.
It's so powerful. So like I said, if you guys ever want to set up and do a drive from here.
Yeah, for sure. We give out toys. We give out toys every year, bikes. Yeah, for sure, man. We can definitely spread and do it at multiple places and capture multiple kids, man. It's beautiful, bro. It's always, you know, giving back is one of the biggest things that I make sure I do. Always giving back, always in the community. I'm talking 10 toes.
Yeah.
In the trenches in the community, you know what I'm saying? If I was to run for something for office, for sure.
Well, you mentioned politics. Have you thought about running for office?
Oh shoot. There's, you know, some things in the back of my mind, you know, just depending on what needs to be done. But what I think about is right now I'm more in behind the scenes working with all of the elected officials, you know what I'm saying? Working with to see what making my voice known and seeing what I can help with. Because the way I see it, the way I think is like I'm an entertainer. How many councilmen or mayors or whatever you see are artists? You know what I'm saying? Like, let me do a press conference, but I have to perform at a strip club tonight. Or I have to do a comedy show, but I have to really watch what I say.
Right.
Because I'm really a public figure at this point. So it's like I don't know how that's gonna work, you know. So maybe later down in my life or something like that. Right now, I'd rather just stay behind the scenes, and do what I need to do.
Build a platform through your skills and talents.
Right.
And then use that platform to create some change.
Yeah, because I can make change and help people, without running for office or anything. So definitely, you building a platform and doing some things the other way. Yeah, that's because I would love to take my curriculum, have a building, and be able to have an after-school program, bring kids over, get them food, get them homework help, give them of course, we're going to be working on, because it's going to be for the arts, because I'm in media and theater. I'm an actor, too. So, I want something like that, and eventually have my own lounge.
Yeah.
This is dope. So I can host my own comedy shows.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Get a band in here. Those are dreams that I have, later down once I get what I need to get. But definitely, man, I want a well, it's not comedy. I want a restaurant for sure. My first passion was cooking. For sure. Then I went into drums and music and different things like that.
So I see what some of your friends are saying, where they're like, you need to focus on one thing.
Exactly.
I see, because you're passionate about a lot of different things.
Right.
And you understand that you have a lot of different God-given talents. And sometimes it feels like, oh shit, which direction should I go? One of the things I've learned, I call it build on small successes, right? The way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Right.
All of the things you're talking about are attainable, and you can definitely do them. You just, do one at a time and grow and build. And I think doing the comedy is good because it gets your face in front of people and you can make those connections. And when people come up to you after the show, it gives you an opportunity to tell them about some other projects that you're working on.
Right.
So I think that approach that you did here, like perfect. Like you won the comedy contest, and I'm like, yo, Malc, you want to be on the podcast?
Right.
And now you're able to talk about your nonprofit and your curriculum.
Right.
So I think that's a great approach. Lead with the comedy.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing everything, and then seeing because I don't know, because the camera have brought me far. I've been to the BET Awards, Essence Fest. I've interviewed so many celebrities as a journalist. But it's not even about the celebrity. It's just being in those same rooms with Robert Kraft, and you're sitting here looking at Robert Kraft in the lobby of the JW and across the street from the Staples Center.
No shit.
But everybody's supposed to be here. So everybody's just speaking. Hey, first person I spoke to was Zay Tobin, Gucci Man producer.
Okay.
Then I saw Robert Kraft. I had to call somebody. I was like, bro, what's his name?
You mean the same Robert Kraft who got wrapped up in that whole rub and tug scandal?
The Patriots owner, right?
Yeah.
The Patriots
so
owner. So
apparently he went to that. It's called the Orchid in Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
He had like a little quick rendezvous.
Yeah, the same place Trump and somebody else goes as well.
Yeah. Then he gets on a plane and goes and wins the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's some gangster shit, man.
Man, he's I don't see no problem with it.
Okay, so
because
here's my thing.
They're doing it.
Two consensual adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go to a place and get a massage, and the woman who's working there wants to make, is like cool with it and makes more money from it. I think the problem is sometimes some of those women are there against their will. That's where people have an issue with it. Some of these women are part of human trafficking rings, or they were brought to America by people who own the spa, and then they're told one thing: you're going to work here, you can make you can do whatever you want on the side, but then they're not allowed to leave until they pay X amount of dollars, and they're forced to live in those massage parlors. A lot of those massage parlors, the girls live in pretty shitty conditions in the back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither, because my whole thing was like, we're two consenting adults here.
Right.
Like, what's the problem? And then I learned that the problem is sometimes it's not two consenting adults. It's somebody who doesn't want to be doing that.
Wow. Yeah, that's messed up, then.
But that's the other thing too about life, is we never really understand kind of all of the ins and the outs, and it's important to be like willing to learn and figure that out, and not be like, married to the way you think about things. Because I would have told anybody like, that's crazy, you know. He went there, she, you know, gave him a little rub and tug, she got her money, he went on his way. But then you learn about some of the dark things and you're like, okay, I wouldn't want that to be for anybody.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And that's a topic that we definitely need to discuss more as far as woman trafficking.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women being trafficked.
And
there's
children.
And we don't I know that it's going on, but I don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never seen it before. But we know it's going on. There's a lot of women become missing. Every time I see death, like just a plane crash in China, man, like.
Yeah, that was today, right?
Yeah, bro, that was 132 people. I
didn't even know about it till between shows here. My buddy Jack told me.
Yeah,
and apparently it like nosedived, went straight down, which it was almost like intentional maybe, and I'm speculating, you know?
Man, but stuff like that, man. I don't know, bro. We'll go back to just trying to staying prayed up, bro, making sure everything's aligned. We got, but for sure, man.
Bringing joy to people's lives.
Making joy to people. That's why I love. Let me say this, bro. I grew up. That's why I created the Malc Show, you know, as far as creating a voice for people. Because I felt like I didn't have a voice as a kid. Because I was the youngest, but I was the oldest on my dad's side.
Interesting. So you were able to see what it was like to be
in the middle.
Yeah.
Malcolm really is in the middle. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm really in the middle, and that's what makes me sometimes like, and we talk about therapy and mental health and different things. I go through a lot mentally, you know, anxiety, different things. But because I don't know, I'm living like I'm the breadwinner and I'm the leader, and I have to, and I'm the youngest, so I have to live up to the shut ups and no's and prove to the people who didn't give me a voice as the youngest, but also lead for my younger brothers and sisters and be an example. So it's like, dang, okay, well, let me do everything and something has to land. You know what I'm saying? So I feel as though I just have to have a huge responsibility for myself, for my family. And yeah, bro, yeah, man. But definitely, yeah, mental health is serious.
Yeah.
And we have to touch more on that. I don't know. I've never been to a therapist.
No?
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Is that like because therapy is expensive? Is that because you're
I don't know how much it costs. There was free therapy at FAMU in college.
Yeah.
I didn't never go. I mean, I didn't even know it was on campus. But once I found out, I was like, oh shoot, I need to go. Never went.
Yeah.
You know, but
well, mental health is something that gets painted out to be so taboo, and like especially as a man, you know, or you know, a young black man, like you got to show this strength,
right?
You know, and you feel like by going to therapy, it's almost like an admission of being weak. But I think it's actually the opposite. It's showing that you're strong enough to do the work,
right,
and figure out what tools and coping mechanisms are available to you, so you can get through it. You know, and I imagine that you use creativity as an escape and as a coping mechanism.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Laughing, enjoying. If I can laugh and make other people laugh, that's therapy to me. If I can go in the studio, listen to music, put a song, make a song, that's therapeutic. You know, I just love being in some type of creative atmosphere.
Yeah.
I can come out here and make people laugh. Laughter is great for the soul.
Yeah.
And if people enjoy it, I feel 1,000 much better, because I feel like, dang, they enjoyed it. I was so nervous.
You were really nervous
when I walk. So if you paid attention, nobody paid attention. So this is what happens at the comedy show. I walked in here, Hakuna Matata. I don't really speak, bro. Honestly, I don't speak too much until I get on stage, and then you're like, oh shoot, he talks. Because I would read the room, you know, I'm reading the room, feeling energies, see who's here, listening to the other comedians. What jokes do they have? What are they talking about? Not too many talking about gas prices. I was surprised, but maybe everybody was like, everybody's been talking about gas prices. But stuff like that, just reading the room, and then Corey called me up and was like, all right, the Malc Show. Nobody knows who the Malc Show is, you know what I'm saying? But once I performed, it's like, oh, shoot, this guy is
You lit the room up, dude.
Because I don't want them to know what they're expecting.
Yeah.
I want them to think that I'm just, I don't even want them to know I'm performing. I'm just some other guy in the crowd because I'm not talking. I'm sitting back. I've been reading notes from the moment I came in to the moment I left. I was on my phone reading notes.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about. All right, how I'm going to say this joke. Reading my notes, see if I'm going to remember. You know, I just study. And then I go up there and end up freestyling because I forgot what I wrote. So that happens a lot. Like I study. All right, I'm going to say it this way. Right after this joke, say this because it segue right into it. And you have to say this. If you don't say this, you're going to forget this entire joke.
Yes.
Because I might be talking about bathrooms, but bathrooms lead into some entire whole story.
Yep.
But I forgot about to say bathroom, so I forgot. So it's like I'm great at picking up on things. Like you will never see like, oh, he's lost.
Right. The show must go on.
The show you won't see that.
Right.
You won't see that I'm stuttering or I don't know what I'm about to say or you won't see that because I'll go into something else. Like I did it.
I know, and you couldn't tell at all.
I did it,
and
actually.
You handled yourself so well. And now knowing how nervous you were and that you were worried, like, oh, I gotta say this, I gotta say that, and then watching you is like the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, man.
And you know what I think is such a skill is being able to do that, right? Because imagine if you weren't able to riff that way.
Right.
If you weren't able to just be like, all right, well, I forgot everything, so now I'm just gonna fucking riff.
Right.
And make make the crowd fucking laugh. You know, some people they have a whole written thing, and that's why they don't talk about gas prices or doing jokes in a treehouse. Right? Because how would they know that until they got here? And that goes against their whole script.
Right.
They got to follow their script. You know,
Right.
and you're able to go off script, and that's a huge skill and talent to be able to do.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that. I've been to some shows where people did the same bit.
Oh, it happens all the time.
I'm like, dang, I just heard you say these jokes. I try not to do the same joke, but you know, comedians throughout they've been telling me like, don't post on Instagram like your jokes,
Right.
And try to practice that 5-minute set over and over and to perfect it.
Yep.
So that you can move on, do another 5-minute or 10-minute. And just practice, and then you'll build up to your special.
Yep.
Like I said before, I started off doing a special.
Yeah, you started off with a 50-minute set.
I started off with it. That's the first time I was on stage. I did 50 minutes on stage. It wasn't even a lot of people in the crowd. But I promise you, if it was a lot of people in the crowd, I would have had a really, really great show.
Yep.
I promise you. But because I incorporated more of a show, I started dancing. I was performing. It was a show.
Well, it's we saw it here when you climbed up on the bar stool. you know, prop comedy.
Yes.
And slapstick comedy, physical comedy is something that's kind of we don't get to see a lot of it anymore. Right. And to me, that's some of my favorite. Jim Carrey throwing himself to the ground.
Right.
You know what I mean? What's the gentleman who died from a drug overdose? Very heavy set dude from Saturday Night Live. Why am I not thinking of his name right now?
Great.
Oh my God!
I know you.
Chris Farley.
Okay,
Chris Farley, very physical
okay,
comedian. You know.
So,
bro, we want more of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand, like, so we have the Comedy Showdown. We've had over 50 comedians come through here. And some we've seen a few times, you know, back to back, right?
Okay.
And we see that they're doing the same material.
Right.
Me, I understand they're working out.
Right.
Right? They are honing in their jokes, and they are are changing this word or that word or seeing what works and what doesn't. And a lot of times when you're a traveling comedian, you can get away with that because you're seeing new crowds every night.
And they not going to see it. I could tell the same jokes on Thursday at the Tampa Improv.
That's right.
They would never know that I said that night.
That's right. But if another comedian sees you doing it, then they're like, oh, well, he's doing the same jokes. But it's like, you know, it's okay to work out, you know, but it's also very important to be constantly coming up with new material, you know, and you said it that night. I'm pretty sure you're like, I got new material I'm working on, and you went to your phone and you're like, let me just make sure I hit on everything. Did you, or is that somebody else?
No, I did do that. I told y'all I just wrote it outside. When we took the intermission.
Yep.
I was like, I just wrote these. Let me just try it out.
Yeah, and you're like, wait, okay, I hit on all this. Well, I'm just going to fuck with y'all, man.
Yeah.
And it was great, man, and that's what you need to be able. And all of this stuff is just, it's all about time. It's all about just keep doing the shows, keep showing up.
Exactly.
You know, and sometimes you got to fall on your face.
Yeah.
You know,
I never experienced that yet.
You haven't? I would imagine you haven't because of your energy and because of your pretend confidence.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it's, to me, it looks like exuding confidence.
It's confidence. It's definitely real confidence, just not the first 3 seconds when I get on stage.
Right. So I could imagine how you can captivate a crowd, you know, but I think that it's so important to feel what it's like to bomb.
Right.
So that you it's like, it's humility. It's also like realizing of like how like a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to be a comedian.
It is.
Did you see Ali, who has the Mellow Munchies food truck? At the end, he went on stage.
Yeah, he did.
And then he said at the end, he had never done it before. He's like, I got to give y'all credit. That was fucking hard.
Right.
He told me afterwards how hard it is. My wife tells me all the time, like, you should do stand-up comedy. And it's like, I don't want to insult the work that people do by acting like, because I tell some funny lines sometimes, that I could do stand-up comedy.
The question now is it was a question, like, what do comedians think about T.I. doing comedy right now?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up. Okay. Are you asking me?
Well, I'm just saying, like, well, yeah, what do you think about,
T.I. is one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Okay.
I made rap music, like I said, for 15 years. Some people like T.I., we have a similar style, and his bravado and his intellect, and like, he's one of the best, right? And to come from what he came from and to create the success he created.
Right.
And he always was very funny. Right. I watched a lot of his interviews and a lot of his, like, not just like music videos and songs, but like him living his life, or the TV show.
Right.
He's fucking hilarious. So what's he, in his 40s?
Something should be.
Yeah, I think he's in his 40s. Right. To me, I think it's a smart move. I think hip hop is a young man's sport. Right. He enjoys captivating crowds. He is very intelligent, and you know, there's a level of intelligence you have to have.
He has his fan base already.
Right. And you know, I got to watch like 1 or 2 of his sets, and he seemed very funny. The most important thing is that he respects the craft. Right. And he respects that there are people who have been working and doing open mics and working the road for 10 years.
Right.
And don't have any notoriety, and you're coming into this thing with a massive following.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't just equate that to how funny you are. Right. People are coming to see T.I. do comedy.
Right.
You know, so hopefully he handles it with grace and whatnot. But personally, I think it's a brilliant move. I think it's a way for him to be able to still be on the mic, be in front of crowds, and entertain people as he gets into these more later years in his life.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. But I'm not a comedian. What do you think about T.I. doing comedy?
I mean, I have no problem with it. I mean, you can't stop him from doing comedy.
Right.
He already has his fan base. There's nothing you can do about that. Like you said, as long as he respects it, and which I'm pretty sure he does, because he's on stage. I'm pretty sure he can feel that there's no music playing and you have to just say jokes and be funny.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm an artist too, you know.
Right.
I feel the Lil Duval vibe, you know, because Lil Duval performs at his comedy shows.
Okay. He does songs too.
Yes.
Well, he was on that, what was that, Snoop Dogg? Wasn't he on a Snoop Dogg song?
Yeah. Definitely.
I can't remember the name of that song. That was really good.
Best Life.
Yeah, that was really good.
Or Living My Best Life. I forgot. But it's Best Life or Living My Best Life. But definitely, he and another song he came out with, City Boy.
Well, think about Jamie Foxx.
No. I meant to say Jamie Foxx first.
Okay, yeah.
Let me back up.
Right.
Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx is definitely somebody I model, like, definitely.
Yes.
Jamie Foxx is definitely a great comedian, great artist, great actor.
Yes.
He has his own show. He's a great businessman. That's the type of person I won't want to be like, because I want to definitely be myself. But
no, but you're inspired by.
I'm definitely inspired by Jamie Foxx, Will Smith.
Will Smith is another great example.
Man.
Right? I think that society tries to, and this is what Kanye talks about a lot.
Kanye.
Marginalize
Boosie.
us. Yeah,
Shout out to Boosie.
Boosie's doing so much for up-and-coming artists, dude.
Yeah.
He listens to people rap all the time.
And he can have a beautiful reality show.
Yeah.
But he's a writer. He makes movies. He's an actor. That's what people be forgetting.
What about the other gentleman from Atlanta who's got the show?
Childish
ATL.
Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
That's definitely. Thank you for reminding me.
Yes.
Him.
Yes.
I was just looking at him the other day. I forgot what I was watching.
He's fucking brilliant.
Yes.
He's brilliant and so talented.
Yes.
And what I was saying is that society tries to marginalize artists, right? You're a rapper. They did it to Kanye. You're a producer.
Right.
You're going to stay a producer. We don't want you to be a rapper.
Right.
Now you're a rapper. You're going to stay a rapper. We don't want you to make clothing and products.
Right.
You know? But if you're a creative and you don't know, like if you became like a fucking incredible saxophonist and people are like, wasn't he a comedian?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I've been playing sax.
Exactly.
You know, I've been doing this, but I just didn't that wasn't in the first paragraph of the book you're reading about.
Exactly.
Me, you know?
Exactly.
So, you know, I say fuck marginalization and follow your heart and follow God. God will guide you.
Exactly.
And we don't know that God didn't have a conversation with T.I.
You don't know that, because if he's doing pretty well, shoot, it might be. Because you have to understand that once you're on stage and you have this mic in your hand, anything that you say, people are going to listen.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to hear you.
Yep.
They may not listen, but they're going to hear you. You can go into talking. That's why I love Dave Chappelle. You can go into talking in D.L. Hughley, because he's more political.
Yeah.
They can be funny and talk about something serious, and people are tuned in.
Yeah.
And then they come back with the jokes. Oh, Steve Harvey.
I was just going to say Steve
one.
Harvey. I couldn't think of his name.
Steve Harvey is another one.
These are the kings of comedy we're talking about here, right?
Yes.
D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey.
Shout out to Bernie Mac. We had the same birthday.
Bernie Mac. God rest his soul, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And they were all able to cross over, you know, and thank God for that crossover, because they created media and content outside of the space they were supposed to be in.
Right.
That is, I mean, Steve Harvey especially, man, the stuff that he shares with people on his talk show and whatnot is like so inspirational.
And to understand his story is,
I don't know that I know his whole story.
Well, he was, and this what like motivated me, like, dang, I'm finna move. Like, I'm finna move, and just, I don't have a problem with, and I tested it out 2019 when I went on tour. That's why I was able to go out there and test your faith. Just go. Test your faith and believe God would just create some opportunity. And that's how I was able to interview so many people at the BET Awards, different things like that. But Steve Harvey, he was homeless. You know, he was sleeping out of his car. But he had the opportunity to go perform, I believe, in New York at a comedy show. Didn't have much money and different things like that. So I think he took a bus. If I'm saying it correctly. So basically, he ain't have nothing. He went up there and then did some comedy and was with a bunch of other comedians probably who are big now, but probably wasn't as big. Shout showed his behind, did really great, and that helped him from there. That helped his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he didn't live there. You know, he had to travel and go after something and with nothing. You just leave and just go and have faith and just do whatever.
Sometimes it's the best thing you can do, and it's said in a few different ways. It's like, leave your hometown, so you can expand your horizons and you can see what else is out there. And not only that, but it's the whole crabs in a bucket syndrome.
Right.
A lot of times people in your own neighborhood don't want to see you succeed.
Yeah.
Or everybody's trying to get to the top and they're pulling each other down.
Yeah.
But if you remove yourself from that network of all the people you went to elementary school with, and then you take your talents and your perspective to a new area where nobody knows you, you're not going to have that same thing. It's for some reason strangers will support you more than people who know you.
Man, I get so much love in so many other places. When I did my show in Atlanta, I did it at the Laughing Skull. Did a show in Atlanta, killed it. I forgot to bring my carpet in here, man.
Carpet.
I got my own carpet. Shout out to Tugs Rugs. I got my own carpet. I bring to all comedy shows. Got
I
my
love
face
that.
on it and
Really?
things. Yeah.
That's the branding you're talking about.
Branding,
You
bro.
seem like you're really smart with branding. The shirt, the sweater you got on now.
Be the best you. Be the best you. This is
Oh,
the
I
Malc
didn't
Show
realize
merch
that's
that
what that
never
said.
really came out yet. It's just something that
Exclusive.
I've been wearing just to test it out. I want to make sure that it's really, really good before I sell it to people. But so right now I've been, it's good. It's good. I'm just
You can't
overly critical.
Yeah. Do you ever heard the
Of my
phrase
stuff, man.
paralysis by analysis?
I did, but I never knew what it meant.
Yeah, paralysis by analysis means you don't take action because you're too busy thinking about what if.
Yeah.
Sometimes the faith that you're talking about, you
Right.
gotta fucking dive in.
Right.
Be the best you. This is fantastic. I would wear this. All my
Yes.
friends would wear this.
Yes.
So let me know where I can get them. I'll
Yeah.
wear it on here.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
fucking, you pull the trigger. I just talked to a young lady today who's in the area who does screen printing and whatnot. We're about to get a first run of shirts.
Yeah.
I'll get you in contact if that's a resource that you're looking for.
Yeah.
We'll hang them up here and sell them. That's huge, dude. Does it
Yeah.
say the Malc Show on the back too?
It does say the Malc Show on the back.
Sick.
I don't know if y'all can see it. You can see it right there, the
Sick.
Malc Show. Yeah, man, we got a bunch of a couple of designs. Our first design with the Malc Show with the mic in the middle. Then we got the face logo with
Yeah, I
the
saw
Lord.
that one.
Yeah, man, that's something that was planned to prepare for this year.
Yeah.
I'm just still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. I've got suggestions, talk to my older brother. Shout out to my brother, and Heinz Glow and Young Entrepreneurs of the Future. They help so many young people as far as getting their own businesses, starting them up, helping them. Tugs Rugs was their son's business. He ended up going viral,
No shit.
and they were like back order, shoot, we got 200, 300 rugs to make because went viral.
Yep.
And everybody want a rug. Went viral, viral. But stuff like that, they help so many people.
That's local. They're local in West Palm.
They're in Nebraska.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they help a lot of kids there. And then we help kids here and different things like
Have
that.
you heard of Hope Dealers? It's a local nonprofit that helps urban neighborhoods here. I got a friend. Oh God, why can't I think of his name? I'm so sorry, bro. It's called Hope Dealers, and they do tons of different things with urban youth
Okay.
and whatnot. It's a very similar mission.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tap in with them, man. I'll see
You
what's
should.
going
You
on.
really should. It's gonna drive me crazy that I can't think of his first name.
Right.
But I'll get you his information.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're always looking for ambassadors and people who can touch and reach out to people.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I love the concept of a T-shirt that motivates the person who's reading it. Like I have this concept for T-shirts for here that's all you are awesome. Like a lot of shirts are almost like it's to make me look good. Right. And it's about like your own self and whatnot. But I like a t-shirt. This is actually, speaking of t-shirts, shout out to Coral and Lindsay. There was a reggae festival this weekend. Okay. And Danielle and I, we had to sell our tickets. We weren't able to go. So Lindsay and Coral went in and got us t-shirts. This is the Reggae Rise Up t-shirt. Okay. Thank you, Lindsay and Coral. Means the world to me. But a t-shirt that says like motivational things, because I can't see the shirt I'm wearing, but other people can. Yeah. And why not, if you have an opportunity to inspire, uplift, or motivate somebody? Right. A t-shirt is a great way to do that.
Yeah, that's why of course the merch started with my name, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to create, like you said, different sayings. But me, with this Be the Best You, this pretty much means like the reason why I did this, because I want to remind myself that it's more to me. You know what I'm saying? I just have to fulfill, like I have to go after the best version of myself. And I understand that a lot of other people will feel the same way. You have to be the best version of yourself. Don't try to be nobody else. And people like, who do you want to be? You know, who do you model? I don't really model anyone. I mean, of course, we have people that we can look at and be like, dang, they're dope. We just talked about them, Jamie Foxx, and D.L. Hewley, Steve Harvey. But there's no way I'm gonna be them. If I can be the best version, imagine. I want to be the best comedian that was an artist, DJ, barber, cook, teacher, social activist, et cetera, et cetera. Journalist. I want film producer, actor. I want to be that guy. I want to be like, because I want to be able to say I do everything. I say it all the time. I do everything. Like, what do you do? It's like, I kind of do a lot. I don't like if somebody asks me what I do, I'd be like, I'm a multimedia journalist. But then they don't understand that. It's like, well, I need you to understand that I'm a comedian. I'm also an artist, because I want you to listen to my music. I want you to also understand that we have a nonprofit that we're pushing if you want to donate, because it goes towards the kids.
We'll make sure we share all that information in the description.
Oh yeah, for sure. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. So right now, I don't know what I do.
You are a voice for the people.
Yeah.
You are a voice for the people. And one day, Malc Show, you're going to be the voice for the people.
I do want to be the voice for sure.
Yeah. Well, I can see it, man. I feel it. And that nervousness and that anxiety that you get, that's just to keep you grounded a little bit. You to me, I think that the stars are in your future, man. And just absolutely, dude. And just keep grinding it out. And you're always the best you in my eyes, man. And like I said, bro, when you got another one of those, I need one of them shirts,
I got
man.
you, bro. I got you.
Yeah, we have. I can. That resonates with me, because we have a phrase in our family that we call it the next right thing. We always say, just do the next right thing. Right. And it's similar in being the best, to be the best you. You know what I mean? Do good by other people. Right. And put yourself out there, you know what I mean, in the best way possible.
Exactly.
So that really resonates with me, man. It's going to resonate with a lot of people.
For sure. I wanted to, just being positive and speaking positive and being a beautiful voice. I want to live up to my name, Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not just the strong activist side, but I want people to understand that when I leave this earth, I need people to understand that I've done my job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I need God to say, all right, you've done your job. Well done. Yeah. And did what you're supposed to do and touch as many people. If I'm not out there actually touching and helping and giving out money and giving them resources, I can help them by helping them laugh. Yeah. You never know what people going through. Maybe I helped them. They laughed and they were going through something, you never know, because some people come to you after the show and let you know, man, oh my gosh, man, I promise, man, that was the best time. I ain't laughed like that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
really
glad
needed
you
that.
feel.
You don't know what I was going through today.
I'm
I
glad
needed
you
to
feel
laugh.
like that. I'm glad because I don't know what you was going through, but I'm glad I can help. You know, I'm glad I can help. I don't want nobody to hurt themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love comedy, man. Now I've been doing it but this comedy is moving. Like I realize it's moving faster than the music. You know, I could do more comedy shows because you can just I go to an open mic and work on some stuff just to be on stage. Because that's where I am now. I'm in that stage right now. I don't get paid for coming here. Was like my second time getting paid for a show.
Yeah.
I've done
Well, you earned it, bro.
a lot of shows.
That was a People's Choice contest.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody who was here voted. And here's another cool thing. Several of the people who voted were the comedians who were
Right.
here that night.
Exactly.
Dude.
That's why I was like, wow. I voted for other people.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna just vote for other people.
Well, that's dope. And it's really, you should be really proud of yourself for winning that contest because you
sure.
won over the people. You got the recognition from your peers, and it's just another fucking, dash on the headboard, so to speak. You know what I mean?
I put that money. I spent it, but I owe myself $100, and I'm gonna put it up and don't spend it, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because that was the only. It was the only cash I had. I was like, freak.
Nah, but see, you need it.
I'ma
God brought
just
it to
take
you,
this.
man. God brought it to you, and you earned it, dude.
Yeah, man. I shout out to freak. Never mind. I can't even think, bro. Maybe I'll think of it. Maybe I'll think of it. But I got paid, and he helped me out, man. I did a show in Broward. Dang, I cannot think right now. But I did a show in Broward, man. And
Shout out to the dude in Broward
killed
who
that.
paid the Malc Show.
Freak. It's not that I love everybody. I just can't think right now.
It's all good,
But
man.
yeah, man, that was a great opportunity. But in performing at the Palm Beach Improv is dope and different things like that. But I feel as though I've been there over 9 times. I feel as though it's time for my own show.
No shit.
You know
9
what I'm
times at the
saying?
Improv, huh?
Man, 8 or 9 times
Yeah.
I've been there alone. I've been there a lot of times at this point. So it's like, shoot, it's about time. So that's why we putting together this tour. That's why we're on tour right now. This is a part of the tour, this interview. Yeah, man, we going to Tampa next on Wednesday. St. Pete, Tampa on Thursday.
So, you got any shows local in the next coming months that you know of right now?
No. What's today?
What day is today? Monday. My phone just died. It's March something.
Nah, I don't. Nah, man.
All right. Well, all my other Kava bar owners out there that do comedy shows, book
The
my
Malc
man,
Show.
the Malc Show.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have a great time.
All of his information will be below. How do people find you on social media, Malc?
The Malc Show on Instagram, YouTube, the Malc Show, Twitter, Sure-Handed, because we're more writing, so I use my business Sure-Handed, like right. Sure-Handed on Twitter, Facebook. It's tricky because your name is like your full name on Facebook.
Fuck Facebook.
You can try the Malc Show for sure. DJ Malc. I mean, or my name, Malcolm Summers.
You're like, I don't want to give my government name.
But the Malc Show, even if they type it in, you're going to see me on the news doing stuff in the community. So my name's going to be out there anyway.
That's dope.
So it is what it is.
Malc, I appreciate you sitting down with me, man.
Yes,
You're a talented young man.
Appreciate
and I think
it.
all of the accomplishments that you want to accomplish, I think they are on in the future for you. You just keep at it, man. Lead with comedy. I think it's a great way to get people's attention.
Appreciate it, yeah.
And we look forward to having you come back, maybe host one of the comedy showdowns.
I'd love to, bro.
Yeah.
I'll bring some other comedians
Cool.
too.
And then, listen, we built this podcast studio. It's not only a place for me to do a podcast, but for other people in the community who want to do a podcast,
Right.
but may not have the equipment or the space to do so. So this is open to you also, bro. You can bring your own guests on here.
Right.
You can do your own show from right here. Just throwing that out there to you.
Yeah, appreciate
this is
it.
available to you. Just let me know if there's a night that you want to come by for an hour or two and sit with friends and chat, dude.
That's dope, bro. Appreciate that. It's a dope spot. If y'all haven't already, Hakuna Macabre in West Palm Beach. What is this called again?
That's Kratom. Kratom.
Kratom. Try the Kratom. Try the Kava. What else y'all have?
We got matcha and hot teas and all sorts of different exotic beverages. Every last drop.
This is good.
I like it.
What is this called again? I'm sorry.
It's Kratom, green Kratom tea. We call it Euphoria tea here.
Kratom.
Yeah.
Get you some Kratom.
Come get some.
Good.
And most importantly, go follow the Malc Show and support everything that he's got going on.
For sure.
Be the Best You shirts come out, get you one. Get one for a friend.
I got y'all, man. I got you.
Thank you so much for sitting down with me tonight.
I
appreciate it a whole lot. You guys, thanks for being a fly on the wall during this conversation. And we'll see you next time live from Hakuna. Boolah.
Live Hakuna.
Let's
Malc
go.
Show. Oh, Lord.
We out.